Anantakoti Vaishnava Brindaki, Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur ki, Famsiko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita, Gadadha Shivasade Shri Gaur Bhakta Brindaki, Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Shri Mayapur Navadvip Dham ki, Shri Kshetra Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Ganga Maya ki, Jamuna Maya ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Tulasi Maharani ki, Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki, Krishna Balaram ki, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev, Lady Subhadra Devis ki, Shri Shri Radha Gopinath ki, Shri Shri Radha Gopal Ji ki, Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki, Premanam Sankirtan Yagya ki, Gantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Govinda Swami, Srila Gurudev ki. Hare Krishna. Welcome Maharaj from Assam. Hare Krishna. Om Gyanatamaranda Shalakananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jana Tasmai Shri Guru. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasudeva Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Can you hear me all right? Yes. Is it loud enough? Yes. Could be a little louder, right? Yes. Not really? Wouldn't really matter, right? You're so distracted it wouldn't really matter. So we're going to continue our discussion tonight along the same theme lines of communication, going deeper and deeper, trying to understand it in a very real and a practical way. This will be very helpful, otherwise we're just hearing it on some superficial level and we can repeat it like parrot or even by memory, but not really understanding it because so much distraction on false ego, mental platform, under modes of material nature. So it's very distracted and not able to really hear and understand properly. So this is a problem, especially in the Kali Yuga. Everybody is so disqualified, and so the subject matter is so high, but consciousness is so low. Now you see we're the most degraded, sinful fellows in the most complicated age. So as we're getting duller, the complexity of the world is becoming more and more sophisticated and more disturbing. So to try to understand it and how we fit within it and what is the effect of all of this on us, both materially and spiritually, we're really just going through life like in like a fog, right? Just groping in the dark, not really understanding all of these things properly. So anyway, we're talking about the purpose of the human form of life is how to understand that we are in a suffering condition. The material world is made for that purpose. And so much perplexity and confusion is there. Arjuna is representing that in that Leela. He's also like that, right? So material energy, Prabhupada said, is set up in such a way that it's meant to bewilder everybody and to confuse everybody and to be completely perplexing to everybody. And we're supposed to, in human form of life, realize, oh, why am I in such a condition? Why am I in suffering? Why so much anxiety? Why so much disturbance is there? So much different type of misery, different type of suffering condition is there. So why is it like that? Why are we being forced to be punished or suffering or put into anxiety or so many disturbing, perplexing situations when nobody's asking for that? So it's basically being forced upon us. So it's explained, Prabhupada said, those who are very intelligent, they'll ask those questions. That why is it like this? Why is this coming at us like that? Why are we being affected by that? What is the reason behind it? What is the purpose of it? And also, how do you, what is the cause of it? Right? And of course we find out it's because of so much sinful activities that we're getting so much sinful reactions. So all the different types of suffering and misery on this planet, in this world, on this platform, is different variations of fructifying sinful reaction or karma pala. So all of that suffering, any suffering that we're feeling within ourselves, our body, our minds, the body and the minds of those around us, the circumstances in the world, geopolitically, or according to the weather, the unhealthy nature that we're living in, the government's polluting the food, the water, the medicines, the educational systems polluting everybody's minds, and lowering and contaminating everybody's consciousness, and weakening the people, weakening the families, weakening the strength of any spiritual type of pursuit. Nobody's interested, everybody distracted. Kali Yuga, everyone is Kalau Shuddha Sambhava. It says that people in the age of Kali, they don't have a good intelligence. They're very unlucky. They're always misunderstanding everything. They're very lazy. They're very easily misguided and misunderstanding. So that certainly doesn't help in terms of the perplexities. So as the world's becoming more and more perplexed, we're becoming more and more disqualified because of all of these qualities of the Kali Yuga and all of the Himalayan mountains of sinful activities and sinful reactions that we have accumulated for so many lifetimes. So this is the dilemma, and if we don't perceive our suffering condition, and we don't perceive the perplexity and confusion and bewilderment of material existence, and that whatever we try to understand or adjust on material platform, intellectual platform, emotional platform, physical platform, that none of that is actually really solving anything. If anything, it's just more and more complicating it. So it's one of these puzzles, the more you try to solve it, the worse it gets. So it's designed that way. And then the people, they're not asking, not conscious enough to realize that we're in such a condition. They think, no, I'm fine. I'm happy. I don't really feel all of that problem and perplexity and confusion. And so everything that's actually the reality, that Krishna's created it that way, we're not at all aware of that. We're not conscious of it. We cannot perceive it. We cannot feel it. Therefore, we're not asking the question, why is this type of thing being thrust upon us or forced upon us? What is the cause of that? And of course, that's sinful reactions. And then the next logical question is, well, then what is sin? And how is it possible to give up sinful activity, if that's the root of the problem? And then how do we purify and get free from sinful reactions? So this is which will bring us to look for a spiritual solution. So if we don't think we have a problem, we're not asking what's the root of the problem that we don't think we have. And whatever we do perceive on our level of consciousness, we're thinking that we can manage it by our own intelligence, our own adjustments, our own plans. And of course, that never really works, because it's just variations of Maya's giving us different thoughts and plans how to solve the problems. So all it's doing is just perpetuating and deepening and making it more and more complex and perplexing. And it's designed that way because finally, if the living entity can understand enough, then they realize, oh, I need spiritual solution. I need to go to God. Only if you surrender to God. Krishna says, if you surrender to me, then I'll purify you. I'll free you from your sinful reactions. I'll give you spiritual intelligence and strength and understanding how you can mitigate all of this thing, how you can overcome all of these obstacles, all of these difficulties, challenges, suffering in the life. But if we don't perceive any of those problems, and we're not understanding what is the root of that problem, then we're not going to look for a solution how to purify or overcome the root cause of that disease condition. Therefore, it won't lead us to think to surrender to God, to surrender to Krishna, and then we won't be open enough to receive the instruction from Krishna as to how specifically, step by step, how to qualify ourselves and purify ourselves. So Srila Prabhupada was speaking in Vrindavan February 12, 1974. He was speaking on this same 4:4 verse from Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhupada is saying that we are preaching this Krishna consciousness on the basis of the Bhagavad Gita as it is, without any misinterpreting. So no opinion, no concoction, no manufacturing, no misinterpretation, presenting Krishna's words and instructions, perfect instructions from perfect source, without adding, subtracting anything. And we're showing that to scholars, this is the only way to really understand Krishna. Not by scholarship, not by strength of your intelligence or your learning or your strength or your power of your mental speculation. None of those materialistic qualifications will allow one to understand Krishna. Krishna says only by pure devotional service can I be known. So Prabhupada is saying here that we should understand Krishna submissively as Arjuna is. Shishasteham Shadimam Prapanyam. Krishna, he asks Arjuna to fully surrender. And therefore, he has already surrendered. He finally surrendered. Hare Krishna. Everybody has to move over. He's like a bull in the china shop. So this submissive surrender, right? Arjuna said, let's stop the friendly talks. Right? Let's stop the arguing, bantering back and forth. Now I'm just soul surrendered unto you. I'm your Shishya. Therefore now I'm going to submit myself to you and ask you to tell me what is best for me in this circumstance. So Prabhupada said that when Arjuna saw that there were so many perplexities and that he could not solve it on his own, he exhausted his ability to think he could solve everything, then finally he understood that only Krishna can solve it. Only surrendering to Krishna and depending on Krishna will solve all of these problems. And of course Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, in all of your activities, just depend upon me, work under my protection, be fully conscious of me, and then I'll give you intelligence, understanding how to overcome all of these complexities and obstacles and difficulties in your life. But to understand Krishna is not very easy. And because of all of this sinful contamination, sinful desires and sinful reaction, it has made us very, very dull and very much under heavy modes of material nature. So how we're going to really understand Krishna to be able to depend on him and be conscious of him and listen to him? And without that, how do we actually overcome all of these perplexities and all of these problems and obstacles in our life? So it's very easy to quote the verse, yes, just depend on Krishna in all of your activities, work always under his conscious, be conscious of him, always under his protection, and then we don't even know Krishna, really. We have some theoretical understanding of him, but can we be fully conscious of him? And everything that we're doing, can we think and act, thinking that yes, we're acting under the protection and the direction of Krishna? And if not, what do we think, what obstacles do we think we're overcoming? What difficulties and perplexities and confusions and disturbances that we all have here, how much of that is actually being overcome? That's another question. So officially, we're doing all of those things. We're depending on Krishna, conscious of Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna. He's the supreme protector, and yet nothing really changing, because theoretical and sentimental or artificial will not be sufficient. It's not the real. It's academic. Theoretical means not real, not realized. So jnana, knowledge, theoretical knowledge. Tattva vijnana means scientific, realized knowledge, means you realize it, you realize Krishna. So because of all this sinful activities and sinful reactions and all of this Himalayan mountains of sinful contaminations, we cannot really understand Krishna properly. We cannot really surrender to Krishna properly. How do you fully surrender to someone that you don't have full faith or trust in? Arjuna is fully surrendering because he knows only Krishna can solve this problem. So it's not a theoretical understanding, I'm going to just theoretically surrender to Krishna, and then all these things are going to be understood and overcome. So when Arjuna came to that point that he exhausted everything, and he realized, I cannot solve it, only Krishna can solve it. And that unflinching faith in Krishna and the faith that only Krishna can solve it made him to surrender to Krishna. In this way, Prabhupada says, if we surrender to Krishna, also through his representative bona fide guru, representative of Krishna means one who says exactly what Krishna says. That's a parampara, disciplic succession, the symptom of that who is in the parampara is that one hears, understands, realizes, and says exactly that same thing without adding and subtracting anything there. In other words, Prabhupada said, he says exactly what Krishna says. He doesn't change anything. Nothing added, nothing subtracted. So Krishna says, abandon everything, karma, gyan, yoga, just do bhakti. Sanatan Dhamma means a bhakti, just surrender unto me, Krishna says. If you surrender to me, then I will deliver you, I will purify you from all of your sinful reactions. Do not be afraid, do not be fearful. So therefore, a bona fide representative guru is saying the same thing, that nothing else is going to work. There's no other option. Only we should just surrender to Krishna, and Krishna says that he will purify us and deliver us. Therefore, we should not be afraid. We should not be in anxiety about that. So there's no difficulty because the message is exactly the same. One doesn't have to try to manufacture some idea, some opinion, some philosophy. No, everything is there within Krishna's instructions. And if you preach what Krishna has said, as it is, with faith and realization, not like a parrot, then Prabhupada said, then you are a bona fide spiritual master, the symptom of bona fide spiritual master. Prabhupada here is saying it's not a very big job. That's debatable. Of course, I don't want to argue. I cannot argue. So let's look at how those things can be reconciled. Because here Prabhupada says it's not a very big job. You just simply have to become sincere to Krishna and then learn Krishna through his representative, and then you become fully sincere to that representative of Krishna and to Krishna. So it's very simple. It's not a very big job. If you're simple, it's not a very big job. You just become completely sincere to Krishna and his bona fide representative, and you learn everything from both of them, get all of their mercy, then you can also be spiritual master. What's the big deal? It's not a very big job. So how do you get a product of Kali Yuga to do all of that? That's the big job, right? That's the cleansing required. Yasya Devi Prabhaktya Yata Devi Taraguru, from Upanishad. It says, unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master, all of the imports of the Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. So those who have understanding, then you can understand everything as it is. Then you can be a spiritual master. It's not very difficult. So this is why apavachar is very important to understand it in the proper context, because otherwise saying, why are you making it such a big deal? Baba says, not a big job. It's not very difficult. Every one of you can become a spiritual master. Right? So Prabhupada's giving order and instruction. Every one of you can become a spiritual master, not already are. Then you can preach the gospel of Bhagavad Gita as it is. And then the world will be saved. It's not a big deal. It's not very difficult. Every one of you becomes spiritual master. Preach the gospel, Bhagavad Gita, all over the world and save everybody. First we have to save ourselves, isn't it? So this obviously means tattva vichar. So if we're very simple, and you get mercy of Guru and Krishna, and you follow it as it is, it's not a big deal. It's not very difficult. Without mercy, we misunderstand everything. We don't know how to depend on Guru and Krishna. We don't have unflinching faith. Then we need to be saved, isn't it? Otherwise, well, theoretically, Krishna is God. Theoretically, God is speaking Bhagavad Gita. Theoretically, I'm a guru and I'm speaking Bhagavad Gita and I'm saving you. Don't you feel saved? So like Mayavadis, you know, they can look to the Shastra, they can find different things so you can a little bit twist it. You see? So then they'll say, Prabhupada said, everybody can be guru. Not a big deal, not very difficult. You just have to have unflinching, real faith, tattva vijnanam in Krishna and bona fide spiritual master. But that means you know Krishna, and you know Krishna's bona fide authorized representative. So then you have Adal Shraddha, you have understanding Guru Tattva, Paramatma Tattva. You have unflinching faith in Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. No big deal. Then preach the same thing as it is, and then you can be spiritual master. So Prabhupada wants everybody to become perfect. He wants everybody to become bona fide spiritual master. Because so many billions of people need to be saved. The whole world needs to be saved. Otherwise they are already in trouble, and they will go more and more and more into the depths of trouble, into a very dangerous position. So Prabhupada is speaking this in the mid-1970s, right? That's like what, 50 years ago, right? 1974. Now it's 2024, right? So Prabhupada's saying like this, as time goes on, as the Kali Yuga gets more and more degraded, and as we become also more and more degraded in our consciousness, everything will become more and more dangerous. And now you see, with all of these weapon systems and technology and data collection, you know, centers which are 10 miles long, collecting everybody's, you know, thoughts, reactions, liking, disliking, completely trying to find out every single thing about how you are conditioned. Isn't it interesting how we are conditioned and controlled by material energy so that they can exploit us further? They're more interested to understand how we're controlled by the material energy than we are. So it's becoming more and more depths of troubled, dangerous position. And then they have these supercomputers now, and they're interacting with each other. And as they're interacting with each other, they're deciding amongst themselves, let's create a language that we can speak from one computer to the other computer that nobody will understand what is that language. Even the people who programmed it. So they're talking in this language, they're deciding how and what they want to do, and nobody understands the language. Are you a snake? Oh, all right. Looked like a snake there for a second. He was sticking his tongue out at me, you know? I was having this vision like some rattlesnake was coming around. I got nervous. You know, little kid, when they don't like something, they stick out their tongue, right? He's like this. He don't like the topic, he's like... Naughty kid. So as it goes, the world needs to be saved. It's already in so much trouble. And that will only increase more and more and more the depths of that trouble, and will be in very dangerous position. And of course, Prabhupada, he also predicted about you don't create all of these weapons and all of these nuclear weapons unless you intend to use them. And the human nature is such that whatever you're creating in terms of the different weapon systems, then you are forced to use all of those things. And therefore, the people will never be happy in such a condition. Martial law, everyone has to go in the military, nuclear war, economy is crashed, no manufacturing, no jobs, no value in the money. Was everyone going to move to the farm? Does anyone know how to farm? I hope we have someone who can grow something here. Otherwise, we're all going to starve. I don't think we're really prepared for this. We're going to be running to the ATM and then running to the store to buy some food, you know. It's all going to be locked down. So Krishna consciousness movement is very, very important movement for saving humanity, civilization. This is a biblical moment. They're on the brink of nuclear destruction, and these demons, they are completely insane. So this is what is coming, and I don't think most people really have any idea about that. So we think we got problems now. We can't even handle the problems we have now. We're overwhelmed, right? What about when all of this, the civilization, the world is on the brink of destruction, and everything is shut down? All the money crashes, all the stock markets crash, all of the networking systems crash. Yesterday, they had all of these major companies, all went to blackout, right? So all levels of communication, banking system, shipping, manufacturing, food, no money, no food, no jobs, no manufacturing, no petrol for your car or to keep your house warm or cool. And most people, they have no idea. Our government will protect us. We just have to surrender more. We have to give up all of our rights, God-given rights, and we just have to pray to the state that they will protect us. And those are the same people, Hare Krishna, those are the same people who have created this mess in the first place, isn't it? And then, when everything gets like this, and everyone's doing Dandavat pranams and crying in the churches, in the temples, in the mosques, because they're fearing for their very life and the life of their families. To have in one country, they're dropping food, right, from the helicopter, from the plane, right, in the Palestine. Then the men are running out of the sheltered positions to get the food, and then other helicopter coming and shooting those people. These are the type of people that we're talking about. The same people who want to basically, this is all what a Varna Sankar, right? You know where I'm going with this? Right? So because there's no one's qualified, Kalau Shuddha Sambhava, that means the majority is Varnasankar. So that means they are, what is it? How do they say? Like disqualified?
Unwanted progeny.
Unwanted progeny. So instead of being proactive, how do we not make unwanted progeny? They're dealing with it after the fact. What do we do with all of this unwanted progeny? Because they can't do anything to help themselves, they can't do anything to help their family, they can't do anything to help the society. So you can see how they can come to this conclusion that everyone's just a useless, weak, useless eater who's just exploiting the limited resources of the human nature. So all of the unwanted progeny, we should be worried, because these people have a plan how to get rid of us by medicine, vaccine, poisoning the food, poisoning the water, all the pharmaceuticals, poisoning the mind, 5G, now 10G, right? You please tell me, is 5G is not fast enough for you? What the hell are you doing that 5G is not fast enough for you? You need 10G. So what else is going on here? And then where are all the experiments of how all this energy and manipulation of this energy affects people's brains and consciousness, right? And then they're putting all these nanoparticles in all of this, and then they're controlling with this 10G all of the nanoparticles. So all the food, all the medicine, all the water, everything you're consuming is the receptacles of what will be controlled by this 10G. Then you see all of a sudden people just are going mad. They're just killing people and stealing everything and acting completely irrational. So they're literally being controlled by these same mechanisms. Did you know all of that? Some people did. That's the nature of the world that we're living in. So these same people who have created an agenda how to get rid of us and how to cause diseases and suffering and death, these are the people who are going to save us? Think about it. So all of this is going to cause souls to have, in English they have this saying like, everyone's going to have a come to Jesus moment. Everyone's going to have a come to Krishna moment. When the bombs are flying and everything is crashed down. And people say, I don't believe all of that. Okay. It's happening right around us. So Prabhupada, he knows, Krishna telling him, Krishna knows past, present, and the future. And then if you think about it, how does Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's golden age happen if all of this sin and sinful reactions is all present on this planet? I always had this question, how will all of a sudden, there's going to be 10,000 years as the golden age of Mahaprabhu, it's going to be like Satya Yuga. But unless you eliminate and kill all the demons and all of the sins and sinful reactions, and have this type of great awakening and purification, how then do you just like go into the golden age that's like Satya Yuga? So if you think about it practically, this is actually perfectly lining up that it was just like Kurukshetra, so many hundreds and hundreds of millions of people, wasn't it? How many people?
640 million.
640 million. He's not a useless eater. He gave a good answer. Took a lot of pasta to get that answer out of him.
I had halava.
Oh, halava. He had pasta, then halava. That's why he's late. He had to catch up on his beauty sleep. He would have came in here like a gorilla. Thank God he rested a little longer, you know. That's another topic. So hundreds and hundreds of millions of people have to be killed, right? And then what happens is, and it's explained in the Shastra, how all of that killing destroys all of the sinful... Where you going? Are you coming back? You better come back. I thought maybe I was scaring here with all this death and destruction and bombs and poisoning and... Huh? Okay. We'll put everything on hold, all right? If we can just get Pakistan and everybody else to put everything on pause till we figure this thing out. So you see, you just read it and say, yes, it'll be like a troubled, dangerous position, it'll get worse and worse and worse. And then we just read that, it's like, did we really digest what that means? Do we really understand the true meaning of those words? This is Krishna directly speaking to his devotee, telling us what to prepare for, what is coming. The world needs to be saved, it's already in trouble, and they will go more and more and more into depths of troubled and very dangerous position, and in that condition they can never become happy. Therefore, Krishna consciousness movement is very, very important movement for saving humanity, civilization, human society. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So Prabhupada's continuing here also talking that nothing is difficult in Krishna consciousness movement. Nothing is difficult in the Krishna consciousness movement. What does that mean? Seems like everything is difficult while we are in the Krishna consciousness movement. So how do you reconcile that? Maybe we're not in the Krishna consciousness movement. Officially, one has to execute it very seriously and very sincerely. Then it will come. Then nothing will be difficult. Not at all. We're worrying, we're mental, we're bothered, we're disturbed by all the different miseries, our mind, the body, mind of others. The whole situation is a great, disturbing, complex, endless amount of confusion and problem. But if we become Krishna conscious, then nothing is difficult. because Krishna can do and undo. We're trying to figure it out, think it up, make a plan, solve it ourselves, deal with it ourselves, our own intelligence, our own adjustments, our own strength, our own plans. That's why it still seems impossible and difficult to solve, because we're trying to figure it out. Krishna, Arjuna already told to Krishna, I tried to figure it out. I tried to solve it. Impossible. I admit my defeat. Only you can solve it. Then we depend on Krishna. And Krishna can do and undo. He'll also give us the power of tolerance and patience while He's doing. It's not on our clock. I'm not putting Krishna on a clock. This has to be solved by this time, otherwise I'm taking back control. I'll give you till Friday at 6 p.m. to figure out, since time immemorial problems, otherwise I'm going to have to take back control of the situation. Figure it out and solve it. So Prabhupada says, if you're in Krishna consciousness, very seriously, sincerely, nothing is difficult. Not at all difficult. So what are we finding so difficult and bothering and disturbing? Means we're not Krishna conscious. We're not depending on Krishna. Harinam, 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 eva kevalam kalau nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gata anyata, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, 1721. In this dreadful age of Kali Yuga, most sinful age, there is no other means for self-realization than chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name of Lord Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when we're under heavy problem, difficulty, challenges, very fearful condition, devotee will just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because they understand only Krishna can save us, only Krishna can protect us. There's nothing and no one and anything that anybody can do. And so devotee, they just completely surrender to holy name and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sometimes they have before some disaster, the plane's going down or something's happening, and they're taping like what everybody's saying, you know, before some die, before it crashes. People are swearing, people are, people saying all kinds of crazy stuff, right? Freaking out. And some people are praying to God. God save us, please protect us. Hare Krishna, right? So especially in this age, with no other qualification, no other means, no karma, no jnana, no yoga, no bhakti. The only means is to chant and depend on Krishna, hear about Krishna. Prabhupada says, chanting Hare Krishna and hearing about Krishna, then everything will come automatically. By chanting purely, without offense, this Hare Krishna mantra, then you will understand Krishna's form, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's entourage, everything you'll understand. So if we are not chanting with this kind of faith, if we're not chanting offenselessly, then what do we think we know about Krishna? We're devotees. Krishna says, only by pure loving devotion will I reveal myself to you. That means Krishna, Krishna's holy name, Krishna's qualities, his pastimes, his associates, everything will be revealed if we chant purely, without offense, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If we hear about Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. There is no other prescription. Just hear about Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. There's only solution. Then Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyante. In Bhagavad Gita 7:19, Krishna says, after many births and deaths, he who is actually and factually in knowledge, he surrenders to me. And then knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is, such a great soul is very, very rare. So then we read that and we say, well, after many births, we have surrendered to Krishna. Are you leaving?
Yes, Lord.
You have to catch train?
Yes, Lord.
When will I see you again? Will you come back? I'll see you when you come back. Then we can discuss everything. All right? Chant Hare Krishna. Everything can be solved. Then peacefully come back. All right? Hare Krishna. Thank you. Haribol. I thought they were leading an insurrection. Let's get out of here. Who's with me? Who wants to boycott this stuff? So we say, okay, after many, many births and deaths, one who's actually in knowledge surrenders unto me. So we say, well, I surrender to Krishna. That means I actually have knowledge. And we realize fully how Krishna is the cause of all causes. And such a great soul is very rare. What can I say? This is why I have a good feeling about myself. Because it says right here that once we surrendered to Krishna 10, 15 years ago, that shows how much knowledge we have. And such a great soul is very, very rare. So everything's already been done. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.10, it says, O learned one, in the iron age of Kali, men always, almost always, have very short lives. Now you see with all of the medicine and all those shots and all of the conditions, right? People dying way too young. They're dying very short lives. They're always quarrelsome. Always argumentative, right? Because everyone has false ego, everyone thinks they're great, everyone is critical of others, we want to establish how great we are, therefore we're always trying to argue our point of view, and of course other people think they're greater than us, so then they're arguing their point of view, so it just creates always quarreling, always disagreeing, always fighting. This is the nature of the men and ladies. Very lazy, misguided, we're misunderstanding everything. Sound familiar? Quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, listening to a stupid mind, disinformation, Unlucky? Do you feel yourself unlucky sometimes? And above all, always disturbed. Bingo. Always disturbed. Always bothered and disturbed. This is Kali Yuga. Symptom of Kali Yuga. In this age, you cannot proceed according to sacrifices, yagyas, mental speculation, yogic cities. None of these things will work. Nobody can perform any of them perfectly anyway. And even if we can perform something perfectly, still that is not the way to understand Krishna. Because Krishna says only by bhakti. So you do all these other things perfectly, still Krishna is not going to reveal himself. Only by bhakti. Krishna says personally, bhakti mam abhijanati. That is the only way, and there is no other way. They say there are many ways. There are many paths. Why so narrow? Even that some people say, you know, if you have your own mind and speculation, you can create your own way, your own path, isn't it? Just by the power of that mental speculation. There are many ways that will all gradually lead you to understand the absolute truth. But that is not a fact. To understand the absolute truth, you have to accept the absolute path. If we're not on an absolute path, why are we assuming we're going to come to the absolute truth? So Krishna is giving the absolute path to understand the absolute truth. If we don't follow that path, we don't follow those who are following that path, then how do we think that we'll come to understand what is what? So that path is given by Krishna as a bhakti. Bhakti mam abhijanati. Yavan yashtrasmi tattvataha. One can understand Krishna, Bhagavan, as he is, factually, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of the Supreme Lord, by such devotion, he can enter the kingdom of God. So this is a very narrow path. If we accept perfect knowledge from perfect source and just follow on that path, then by their mercy we can understand properly. If we are sincere and serious, simply engage in that path of devotional service to Krishna, then you will see Krishna everywhere, and Krishna is everywhere. So whatever you see, everything is related to Krishna, everything is part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is the controller of all of his energies. So therefore this purification of the consciousness to get free from all of these dirty things. So hearing about Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, this is meant to purify the heart, which is full of all the dirty things. Shimbatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. So Prabhupada says a process of Krishna consciousness, process of purification. It's by associating with Krishna, by hearing and chanting about him, then Krishna as Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, he will cleanse all of these desires, all these materialistic desires, sinful desires. He'll free us from all of this sinful reaction. For those sincere, serious devotees who have developed the urge to hear about Krishna, to hear his messages. So by hearing and chanting, did I do something? Hare Krishna. By hearing and chanting, then automatically we become virtuous, pious. All the demoniac qualities, all the sin, sinful reaction, all of this thing, gradually, Cheto Dapana Majanam, it cleanses, purifies from all of this Himalayan mountains of sinful reactions. Therefore, by hearing about Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you will become pious. You will become pure by Krishna's mercy. In this way, you become more and more virtuous, more and more pious. Then your path to understand Krishna is clear. At the last moment, this is an interesting statement, at the last moment, when you're completely pure from all contamination of sinful activities and sinful reactions, then you'll be engaged in Krishna's service. I thought we were already engaged in Krishna's service. Brahmabhuta Prasanatma. That means after Anatta Nivritti, Nishta means liberated platform, Shuddha Sattva platform means platform of the soul. Krishna says that's where pure devotional service to me begins. Before that, whatever service we're doing is motivated. We have some gross or subtle material desire for that service. So that cannot be called pure devotional service. As long as there's some type of selfishness there on some bodily mental platform, then it's not by definition pure devotional service. So as we're hearing and chanting about Krishna, as the material desires and attachments are going away, as the sinful reactions are also being destroyed by the mercy of Guru Krishna, when all of that is gone, at the last moment when you're completely pure from all contamination of sinful activities, you are engaged in Krishna's service. That's Tattva Vichar. That's absolute consideration. So one is the process of purification, and the other is the actual achievement or the end result of being able to perform Shuddha Bhakti, Prem Bhakti. That starts at Nishta after Anatta Nivritti. Then you can understand about Krishna. Because then false ego, modes of nature, all the different type of ignorance, all the type of misunderstanding, all these type of clouds, contamination, which is between the soul and between us and Krishna, all of that will be lifted. Sanjay said, by the mercy of my spiritual master, he purified my intelligence, my mind and senses. By that purified consciousness, by the mercy of the spiritual master, mercy of Krishna, then he could hear and understand Krishna. Not before that. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that those persons who have acted piously in this life and in previous lives, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, all sinful, without surrender to Krishna, without piety in this life and in previous life, how can we come to the point of completely surrendering to Krishna? And without completely desiring to completely surrender to Krishna, and Krishna will be the judge of that, then Krishna says, then I'll destroy your sinful reactions. We cannot destroy our sinful reactions. That's why Prabhupada says you cannot purify yourself. It's something that can be done to you based on the strength of your desire to want to surrender to Krishna and serve Krishna in a very real way. And Krishna is the witness and judge of that desire and the strength of that desire. And if we pass that test, then Krishna said, then to show special mercy to those devotees, I'll destroy all of these sinful reactions. I'll destroy all of the tamagun, all of this misunderstanding, misconception, all of these anarthas, as the Lord within the heart, Chaitya Guru, Paramatma, Antaryami. those who have acted piously in this life and in previous life, whose sinful actions and reactions are completely eradicated, who are completely freed from the duality of delusion under this false ego, material, bodily conception of life, they then can engage themselves in my loving service with firm determination. This is why we cannot fully engage ourselves with real love and devotion and strong determination, because all of this weakness of heart, all of these material attachments, all of these material desires, all of the ignorance due to the sinful reactions, not sufficient piety or virtuousness or purity from freedom from all of that, means a nata nivritti. So it's a process of purification. But if we don't think we have a problem, we're not going to come to understand that the problem is because of sinful reactions. And we're not going to say, well, then how do you get rid of the sinful reactions? What is bona fide authorized way to get rid of the sinful reactions, which is the cause of our suffering condition? And then, of course, Krishna says you have to surrender to me. If you try to surrender to some demigods or some other materialistic path or process or persons, it will not work. It will not free us from the karma. It will not free us from the karmic reaction or karma pala. Krishna says, only if you surrender unto me will I destroy from the root the desire to commit sin and the sinful reactions from previous unlimited sinful activity. When that is removed by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, what is the end result of the removal of all of that? Then it's Mamana Bhava Mad Bhakto. Only think of me and surrender to me and serve me in the mood of loving devotion. Right now we're distracted because of material desire, material attachment, and because of the ignorance of sinful reaction, the sinful reaction. So all of that has to become purified. Prabhupada says, one who is engaged in Krishna's service with firm faith and devotion, it means he's already freed himself from all kinds of reaction of sinful activities. So we're thinking, well, we're dedicated our life, we're fully surrendered, we have firm faith in Krishna and devotion, but without freedom of the material desire, sinful desire, and sinful reaction, then what is the meaning of our conception of firm faith and devotion? How can it be? You can't say, okay, I have material desire, material attachment, I'm still not purified from the ignorance of my sinful reactions, but in my mind, in my heart, I have firm faith and love for Guru and Krishna. It's impossible. There's disconnect. And Prabhupada said this is the test. Because we're not freed from all of this thing, the anattas are not completely eradicated. We're not coming to this pure devotional platform of Nishta, Brahmabhuta Prasanatma. That means Vaishnava, soul platform, beyond all material consideration. That's where pure devotional service to Krishna begins. That's Shuddha Bhakti platform. So persons who are bypassing the purification process and just jumping and just imitating that they're already liberated, that's why this is such a scandal. It's such a cheating type of way, because we're trying to cheat the system. Because the system of purification is long and hard and difficult to get purified enough through all of these sinful desires, material attachments, and sinful reactions. without being freed from all contamination of sinful activities and sinful reactions, nobody can place his faith at the lotus feet of Krishna. I have so much faith in Krishna. Krishna says, because you have so many doubts. The doubts are like demons, and it's undermining our faith and our determination. So all of these doubts on false ego platform, this is undermining our faith and determination. Therefore, we're not able to fully surrender with faith and determination, because still all of this contamination, all of this materialism, like Himalayan mountains, is still present there. We don't even think we have a problem. And now we're going to go from not thinking we have any real problem, that we have a Himalayan amount of problems. So that's the disconnect, isn't it? We don't know, I have some problems, everyone has some problems. So not really fully understanding or grasping because of deaf, dumb, and blindness, because of this ignorance and sentimentality and pride, which is blocking our vision, right? We cannot see things as it is. And then all of a sudden Gurudev said, dust on the mirror? How about thick, thick, thick layer, Baba? And isn't it when you come, you just start, just Chetodabhanamajam, there's some dust on the mirror, you just chant Hare Krishna, and you hear about Krishna, and all the dust just goes away. And then years and decades and breaking beads and burning holes in your hands and fingers, and it's like, wow, what kind of dust is this? So that may create some, confusion. But Prabhupada said, I had to little trick you. What's the difficulty? Chant, dance, take prasadam, go back to Godhead. If you have some dust on the mirror, just chant. Krishna will purify, get rid of the dust, get some feather duster. It's like, seems easy, right? You just get some spray, just clean off the mirror, right? Right? We're like scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. It's like, wow. I had this thought, like, well, what kind of dust is this? And then Guru said, thick, thick, thick. He said 3 times thick. For emphasis. Thick, thick, thick layer. Like Himalayan mountains, Baba. Then I said, wow, we got a problem. We got a serious problem. Houston, we got a problem. Now we understand why mercy is required. But if we don't think we have a problem, and whatever little problem we have, we think we can figure it out and solve it, then we don't even realize, we're not asking the question, why are we suffering? Because we don't feel the suffering. And if you don't feel the suffering, you won't ask the question, why am I suffering? And if you don't ask the question, why am I suffering, then you won't find out it's because of your sinful reactions. And then if you realize the sinful reactions are like Himalayan mountain, this thing has to be cleaned out, you won't look for a means to purify it or clean it out. And without that, what do we think we know about Krishna? What is the level of our faith and determination in pure devotional service otherwise? That's why I love to read any section of Prabhupada's books and just try to go as deep as possible and understand it. I find it very fascinating. Because everything is there. And it's all consistent. Because it's a great science. So we're just focusing in on this train of thought, right? This is the work that has to be understood and accomplished. They read the Bhagavad Gita, so we already read the Bhagavad Gita. We're reading the Sandarbhas now. You don't have a Dao Shraddha, you don't have a bona fide guru, you don't have Sambandha Gyan, you're not doing Abhideya or Bhajana Kriya, there's no purification of an artist, and we're going to read the Sandarbhas. And after we read the Sandarbhas, we just walk away and say, boy, am I smart. This is why everyone should respect me. Because how many people read and understand the Sandarbhas? What was that thing we were saying that, oh yes, because we surrendered to Krishna, we're already a great soul. Right? So if you already surrendered to Krishna, it means you already have full knowledge, means you already got freed, you're already liberated. Therefore you have full knowledge, you're a great soul. So that's why you read the Sandarbhas. That's why you put on your dress and act like a gopi. With your beard and your... That's disgusting. It's completely disgusting. Isn't it? It's like, you know, guys in the prison, they do like this, you know? This is really funky, really deviated, degraded, isn't it? I hope I can wash that out of my mind before I go to sleep tonight. That's the last thing I need to see. Let's keep talking so we can change the subject matter. We need to do some Chetodapana Majana. Immediate cleansing is required. So you see, if we don't understand the tattva, all the revelation, the reality is blocked. It's a cover. And then we're just apparently reading and understanding everything and then just saying, well, since I'm a devotee, that means I surrendered. And because I surrendered, that means I have full knowledge. And because I have full knowledge, that's why I'm such a special soul. And because I'm such a special soul, that's why you should pay respects to me. And that's why I have the right to preach to you. So we are assuming a lot. That's why Gurudev was always emphasizing on what is your actual qualification. What is the actual science? If you don't understand it in tattva, you can't then analyze and understand your qualification or position. If you have an apparent understanding, then your calculation about yourself will also be apparent. That's all you can come up with. It's all faulty. It's not true. Prabhupada said when we talk about Krishna, those who are advanced devotees, they go away, they run away. Right? So all these special great souls who, the advanced devotees reading the Sandarbhas, when we're talking about, Anartha Nivritti, they look down on us, isn't it? Or the poor babies, they didn't get the mercy. Oh, they're just reading Bhagavad Gita. You're not the body. So, when we talk about this in a real way, those so-called advanced devotees, they all run away because they do not like to hear about Krishna. They don't actually like to hear about the actual process. We're talking of Krishna, someone goes away. Why are they just going away? Because he doesn't like the subject matter. He doesn't like to hear about Krishna because he became so advanced. They're so advanced. That is sahaja. That is sahaja. Oh, we have heard all of these things. Now we have to hear about Krishna. How he's embracing Radharani and kissing. That's all we have to hear. When Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he went to Radhakund, he chastising them heavily, these Babajis. All just reading 10th canto, talking about intimate Radha Krishna and union, all of this talk. And he's telling, why you're not reading about all the other previous cantos that talk about how to qualify and purify yourself to eventually come to 10th canto. But because they don't like that, that's the hard work, that's the tapodivyam, that's the humbling, the purification, the struggling through that purification process, the burning of all of these sinful reactions. They want to avoid all of that. Then they just jump to the 10th canto and they're talking about, oh, we just want to hear stories about Krishna embracing Radharani and kissing. Prabhupada said, these are ordinary things. Krishna's talk is not ordinary talk. It's ordinary for sahajiyas. That's why when you see them talking, then they're talking about Srimati Radharani, right? It's painful. The way that, I don't even want to repeat how they're saying. They're just saying it's so familiar and so ordinary. I saw how my Gurudev was speaking about Srimati Radharani. Then I compared the difference in the mood, the level of faith and love and respect and awe and reverence, giving great respect to that subject matter, not taking it ordinary, cheaply, watering it down. These people say, oh yeah, you ever call her boy, yeah, you ever call her a girl, oh so-and-so, he's a Brijabasi. Right? They're just throwing these terms around like anything, isn't it? They're cheapening it. They want to avoid the actual heavy purifying process. That's why they don't get bona fide guru. They don't go through the actual process because it's all sahaja. It's all cheating. It is ordinary for sahajiyas to speak like this. One who has taken everything very easily and they think they've understood everything. They've already achieved this platform. This is the cheating process, cheating way. Does anyone have any questions or points? You doing better tonight? Yeah?
Yeah.
You feeling stronger?
Yeah.
Nice. Arjuna's mercy. Krishna's mercy. But it really is should give us faith that just by hearing about Krishna and depending on Krishna, Guru Krishna, that this is the purifying element which will purge the mad mind, which we're being harassed by. Maya's attacking. So we have to counter it. So if we're in nice association, then you can counter that attack by giving superior and more powerful information. If somehow or other we can hear that instead, then this other thing becomes more quieted down. Right? It says that Krishna is like the sun, Maya is like the darkness. As soon as the sun comes, the Maya darkness goes away. If you're not in right association and Krishna not appearing there, the sun of Krishna is not appearing there, then only we're in the darkness and becoming more and more dark. So to counter that, we have to try to stay in the light. So wherever we can get a nice association where Krishna is manifesting there, and that's the proof, right? Prabhupada was saying Krishna was speaking so heavy, so strong words, not flattering, and just a very heavy, cutting, chopping, not flattering words, right? That's actually compassion. Those who speak the truth to you, even if it's not flattering, even if it's unpalatable or pinching, disturbing, that will actually free you from this suffering condition. Those who just flatter you, don't bother you, then you just stay in that Maya. So they're actually cheating you. So if they can't pull you out of there, then how are they actually Guru? That's it. So this is a proof. So Prabhupada says the proof of Krishna's compassion as it compared to this superficial, artificial, sentimental compassion is that it purified and awakened Arjuna to the reality of his situation and condition. It purified his consciousness and freed him from this attachment and illusion and contamination due to that material attack or energy attack from Maya. So that's the ultimate proof. Because without Krishna manifesting, we cannot get that result. You know, people can talk about Krishna, they can quote shlokas, they can try to do all of that thing. But unless Krishna agrees to manifest in that association, that katha, that's where the good effect comes from. So my Gurudev used to say that you judge by the results. Prabhupada says the same thing, right? You judge by the results. What is the effect of that hearing process? Then you can understand. So I remember many times when I was listening to my spiritual master, by his mercy, purifying consciousness, that's when you can actually pray. So the fact that you can pray with such a pure consciousness, that's a proof that you got mercy of Guru and Krishna, because it purified your consciousness enough that you can consciously and purposefully and more seriously pray to Krishna. that I want to surrender to you and not surrender and to stay in the Maya. So if you're thinking and praying like that in nice consciousness, that's the proof that you receive mercy from Krishna and from Krishna's parampara or disciplic succession. So it's an undeniable proof. Otherwise, oh, maybe he's my guru, or maybe he's not my guru. It's just a mental, sentimental platform, right? But when you get actual, factual results which are undeniable, that's when Krishna is convincing you. And Krishna is using his devotee to convince you how he's using that devotee to help you. So that result and that effect of hearing and that association, that's what's going to give you intelligence and faith in Krishna and in Guru and in the process. Prabhupada said you're judged by the results. So when I hear from my Gurudev, he's answering all the questions, everything's according to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, it's authoritative, he's connecting the dots, he's resolving different, how do you say, different ideas which seem incompatible, apparent contradiction, some different type of contradiction. Just like Arjuna said to Krishna, first you said like this, and then you're saying like this, so how do I understand both of those statements? So it's very subtle and it's very complex from spiritual scientific point of view. It needs some type of reconciliation to be able to understand how are both of those things true, and in which circumstances are they true, and do they overlap, or are they connected, or are they part of a process? So all of that scientific, description and understanding, that comes by the mercy of Guru Sadhu Shastra. That means all questions are being answered, all doubts are being destroyed. Everybody has problem. I told about my godbrother, he said he had so many problems. And I was trying to help him, and I said, oh, okay, you need Gurudev. That's what I told him. Because sometimes you can a little bit help somebody, but he had a lot of problems. So I wasn't, it was above my pay grade, So every man has to know his limits, right? So I just said, oh no, he needs a serious amount of mercy. So I said, you have to go speak to Maharaj. Only he really can help you. And that's the best advice I can give you. Because that is the solution. And then he went over to Gurudev, and Gurudev was chanting, 11 p.m. And Gurudev practically didn't even look at him. He said, yes, so-and-so Das, you have so many problems. And I wanted to be a witness. So I just snuck into the scene, I'm just in the background, I want to see this mercy. I want to see how Gurudev deals with that. Because I knew what his problems were, right? So how Gurudev going to answer that? And Gurudev said, how many days are you here? Okay, 1 week you're here. Every day come to Bhagavatam class. And whatever questions, doubts you have, everything will be cleared in the Bhagavatam class. And just if there's one little thing at the end that has to be clarified, then you can ask. Otherwise, Bhagavatam will answer everything. And then every day, I was watching him. And he's getting all his answers, It was amazing, And I could just see he was becoming happier and happier and happier. Because Krishna just knows what is his problem. He knows how to answer his question. He's just speaking to Gurudev. And you could just see literally buildings coming off of his shoulders. You're becoming lighter, 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 more and more happy, more and more free. And even Gurudev said, that's the answer to your question. And because I knew what the problem and the questions were, I could see Gurudev answering the question. He never asked Gurudev that question. But Gurudev knows. Because Krishna knows, Krishna's in everybody's heart. He knows what is your question. He knows what is your problem. And he using the Guru just as a pipe to answer your question and to destroy your doubts. So the Guru is coming in one pipe and it's just going out other pipe. Modified Guru is just pure via medium of Krishna. So the Guru is not the super soul. Krishna is the super soul. Krishna is Paramatma. Krishna Chetu Guru. Right? Krishna says, I am that Paramatma, super soul within the heart of every living entity. He knows past, present, and future. He knows what is in our best interest. He knows how to engage us. He has a plan for us. He knows the answers to our question. He knows how to destroy our doubts. But how are we to get how do we hear from Krishna? So mercy of Shri Guru Gauranga, mercy of Krishna, mercy of Sadhu Guru Vaishnava is required that they purify us and give us faith and understanding how we can hear those answers. I was speaking with Devaki about some devotee's problem. And then Devaki said, if you could just explain this to the devotee like you just explained it now, I think that will really help them. And I said, I already just explained this in the class. So if they didn't hear it there, why do you think they're going to hear it here? And I remember, I reminded him of that past time where I forced myself inside of Gurudev's room. Like Gurudev gave 3-4 hour class, he said everything. And now I have like few questions, and now I'm going to get all this stuff resolved. And I forced myself, climbed in the room, and then the door shut, and I was in there. And Gurudev looked at me like, basically like, what are you doing here? And now I'm just like, it's too late. I'm like, now I'm stuck in that room, and Gurudev's looking at me like not happy with me, and my attitude, and my demands, and my expectations. And he's like, what? What do you want? And I was like, oh no. I made a serious blunder. What do you want? And I had like 6 questions, you know. I pulled out like a piece of paper. Like Joe Biden, you know. Just to remember what my question was. Then I asked him the question, you know, and I was like, I don't even want to be, by this point, I don't even want to be there. Right? And now it's like, okay, you wanted it? Here you go. So I couldn't escape. I couldn't say like, you know, on second thought, please excuse me. It's like, what? And then I was like, number one, should I do like this? And I was trying to like explain it in the smallest words possible. You know, should I do this? And then Guru said, no. Next. There was like no explanations. No philosophy, no... He was like literally giving me yes and no answers. And by the time I was getting towards the end, I was like sweating. Because I so badly wanted out of that room at that moment. So I got my yes and no answers. And then I crawled out of the room. Because Gurudev just gave the class, and if I was in the right consciousness, and I was depending on Krishna, and I understand Krishna is going to speak through my spiritual master, I would have heard all of my answers. Everything would have already been solved. So now I'm asking Gurudev to give me another 3-hour private tutoring class on what he just explained for 3-4 hours, where he's literally sweating out all of those answers in great specific detail. And now all he wants to do is translate the books, because he doesn't eat until he translates. Now it's noon. And now he's going to give me another class. And then what, another hour later, then he translates? And then what, eats at 2 o'clock, 3 in the afternoon? So I can get my answers? So I said, no, I'm not going to repeat this to them. I already told them. So if they're not smart enough by now, and are not depending on Krishna to hear through Guru Sadhu Shastra, what can I say that they're going to hear and understand and accept anyway? It's just wasting my time. They're not serious. I'm giving you the means, the faith, the understanding, how to get your answers, how to destroy your doubts, and how to clarify whatever problem or difficulty that you are trying to figure out in your life. Krishna is the speaker of the Bhagavatam. Krishna knows what is your question. He knows what is your problem. Why you're not asking Krishna? Why you're not praying to Krishna to help you? And if you do, then Krishna will make the spiritual master speak exactly that answer and immediately destroy your doubt. We're listening to the classes, oh, Maharaj was speaking to this devotee and that devotee. No, every word is meant for our soul. Every word. Now it's up to us to be fortunate enough to be able to utilize those words and those instructions in our project of self-development and self-realization. How does that fit for something that you need to understand? Well, he wasn't talking directly to me, and he was just looking at some other devotee, and right? No matter what my Gurudev was saying, I honestly thought there's Gurudev and me. I don't know who else is hearing. I don't know what they're hearing. I felt that every class was a personal tutoring class. So I'm going to be such a student that my spiritual master will give me a personal tutoring lesson. That's how I approached it. So if you're that kind of a student, a really great teacher will personalize and customize and focus on how to give you what it is that what you can understand and what you need to understand. But we have to hear very seriously. We're just lost in our minds. I got this problem and this problem and this question, and nobody can answer it, and no one has time, and nobody can explain it to me. Like you're a victim. It's like it's everyone else's fault and you're a victim, and no one's giving you the time and the energy to be able to help solve your problem. But Krishna's solving it through the spiritual master. He's giving intelligence and faith and understanding how to get your answers, how to destroy your doubts, how to clarify what is the proper path and instructions that you need in that moment. And then you just hear that, then you just, Krishna will say that is what you need to hear, and then you just follow that thing. If you don't get mercy of Krishna, and you don't get mercy of Guru, and you don't get mercy of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, what exactly can anybody say that you will understand? Even the Guru can repeat it all over again. That if we're not in the right mood, we're not approaching it properly, we're not understanding how to get mercy, we're not deserving of that mercy, you cannot hear anything. That katha will never enter into your ear. You'll just be lost in your sentimental, mental speculation, feeling like a victim, misunderstood, nobody wants to help me. Then you'll be grumbling and complaining, I'm not happy, I'm not satisfied. Make sense? My mother, father used to say, you know, don't act like the world owes you a living. Right? Don't be walking around like, you know, like everybody owes you something. Go do something. Oh, I need mercy, and there's no mercy, and nobody's helping me, and I'm not getting any answers, and I'm completely disturbed, and I don't have a husband, and I don't have a guru, and I don't have a... Shivash, you know what I'm saying? We're not smart. We're not very bright. We're misunderstanding everything. We're very lazy. We're very crooked. Let's be honest. Bob, is this too heavy? My brother. This is so complicated, Prabhupada's saying it's wicked easy. Well, it's not easy for me. I kind of saw my brother, he was basically a dysfunctional human being, to say the least. He had so many problems, right? And he literally would walk around like everybody should understand that I have a problem. Like I'm sick. I'm a victim. So the whole world has to line up and tell me like what they're gonna do to help me. That's like the way he moved around in his life. I couldn't believe it when I saw like this. He's like literally sitting there like, okay, what are you gonna do for me, you know? He was like taking like notes, like, and then everyone had to like line up, and he would be just like, you know, like it was like the whole world had to just like I don't know the word, like he needs help, and the whole world has to say how they're going to help him. So he just played this victim card. And it was sad to see. But he really believed that he was that messed up, that everybody should know that, and everybody should volunteer to step up to explain how you're gonna help him. I mean, this was a big project, man. So we're playing like we're some victim, and we're misunderstood, we're mistreated, we're disrespected. No one has any time for us. Nobody wants to help us. Right? Everybody is useless. No one understands me. Nobody cares about me. Nobody's fully engaging to help me. Nobody's answering all of my questions. Nobody's solving all of my problems. Right? Grumbling, complaining, expecting, demanding. Then of course nobody wants to play. And now we're resenting everybody. I resent you people. Because you're allowing me to sit in this insanity and nobody's going to do anything about it. This is how cruel you people are. This is going on. I could name names in this room, but I'm not going to do it, Bob. I'm not going to do it. Bob wants everybody to get mercy tonight. He wants to name names. Let me give you some of those names. And then the actual process to get everything is right in front of us. It's being stated and restated every single day of what is the mean, what is the process, how to do it, how to achieve it, how to get the mercy. And we're just neglecting that because we never heard it, we never understood it, we don't know how to apply it. And then we just play the victim card and engage the world in our service to try to give them a chance to do some bhakti. I'm too sarcastic. That's what's going on. Sasha, right? You know, what more do you want? You want us to chop off some arms and legs? And, yeah, you know, take half of my arm, you know? He'll be like, I want the whole arm. What do they say? You know, you give an inch, they take a mile. Right? Give them an inch, they'll take a mile. That's why I'm hesitating to give an inch. I'm like, there's going to be more than this inch coming, you know what I mean? He's not even giving me like an inch, you know? I'm trying to protect my arm. I'm trying to protect my head. When does it stop? When do you come to the actual conclusion? Any other question? Yes, Mataji. Mataji has a lot of questions. Oh, just one? Okay. Where's Mom? I guess she wasn't meant to come, huh?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
You're alive.
I'm not able to know whether it's audible or not.
No, I can hear you. You're audible.
Yeah. Gurudev, it's like Srimati Radharani.
What?
Srimati
Question about Srimati
Radharani. So she's a feminine woman standing next to Sri Krishna. Hari, Sri Hari. Who is she and why she's standing next to Sri Hari? Is something personal?
She'd like to know some more about Srimati Radharani.
Srimati Radharani. Yes.
First, get rid of all your sins and your sinful reactions.
It's like it's related to Radharani, Srimati Radharani. I mean,
No, she's not able to hear.
because
This is the problem.
wanted to know
This is the problem.
about Srimati Radharani. I mean, we always follow.
Cheto tapanam majanam. Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
Okay.
Hari-katha, Krishna-katha. Shravanam, Kirtanam. Vishnu Smaranam. Scrubbing, cleaning. Heart. Mind. Then this is higher topic. I remember one time I told you I was preaching with my Indian godbrother. He brought me to one big program in America, all Indians, Gaudis. And I'm talking about Cheto Dapana Majanam and Anata Nivritti and cleansing the consciousness and getting free from material attachment and sinful desires and activities, and afterward he was like, what are you doing preaching like that to these people? And I was like, honestly, I was bewildered. I was like, what are you talking about? He said, these people are Indian. I said, everyone in the Bhagavatam is Indian. These people are Indian. I said, what does that mean? You know? He said, no, you just have to speak about the kahanis. Tell some like nice stories like grandma and granddad. They just want to hear some stories. They don't want to hear about cleansing and purification and tapotivyam and not buying so much whiskey and wine and cigarettes and they want to hear some kahanis. I said, well, this is the kahani. This is Mahaprabhu kahani. This is how the most fallen people in Kali Yuga get mercy. And if we get the mercy, then by Krishna's mercy, He'll purify us and qualify us. Then we can go there. Then we can go to 10th canto. You see sometimes the people that there's Bhagavat Sapta, right? Prabhupada said, we don't do Bhagavat Sapta. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, every day Srimad Bhagavatam. First canto all the way. Start on the first canto. They're doing just for some business, some prestige, like a business, right? And then the people, they don't know what is a Dao Shraddha, they don't know what is Sadhu Sangha, they don't know what is Anata Nivritti, Bhajana Kriya, they don't know any of the tattva, and you're just going to tell stories from 10th canto. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, why do you talk about Prahlad Maharaj's instruction, or Juva Maharaj's instruction, or teachings of Queen Kunti? That's all Indians preaching to Indians, in case that disturbs you. There was no white people back then. Only some albinos. Is that what they call them? They're white, right? But they're not from Britain or... Right? So these are, you know, colored people. Preaching to other similar colored people. This is all like some bodily prejudice, isn't it? I told when I first came to India, the only thing I knew about India and Indians is Srimad Bhagavatam. That was my only exposure to India and Indians and Hindus, is just Srimad Bhagavatam. And Gandhi, talking about the Bhagavad Gita. That's all I know. Then I land in Calcutta airport. And I'm driving from the airport to the temple, right? And I was like, I was in such a culture shock. Because I thought everybody in India was part of the Vedic culture and Srimad Bhagavatam. That's how simple and ignorant I was when I started. So there's a process, and it's a process for every soul, especially in the Kali Yuga, Kalau Shudra Sambhava. Okay, you're an Indian Shudra. Okay, great. You're better than the white Shudras, you know? We'll give you that. You're a better Shudra. Oh, I'm getting in trouble. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. Everybody, Falsigo, getting a little pinching going on. Little pinching. Who does this guy think he is? Preaching to the Aryans. It's ridiculous. It's outrageous, isn't it? So then I realized, well, my godbrother is really prejudiced. You know, they say that like only white people can be prejudiced, right? Like in America, they have the blacks there, the Africans. And they say only the white people can be prejudiced against the black people, right? And I said, but the black people hate the white people. Does that mean they're also prejudiced? No, prejudice only means one way. We are the victims here. Nobody else can be the victim. We are the victim, and everybody owes us eternally. Anyway, I was going to tell something, but maybe it's not appropriate. But it was something along the lines of, no, I can't say it, I'm sorry. I can't say it. People will need an ISKCON psychiatrist after that if I said that. You still get that microphone?
Yeah, because I want
She
to
likes
ask,
that microphone. Did you notice
ask
that?
whether we'll stop reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, because shall we stop reading go-throughs with Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam?
Should we stop reading Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam?
Because it's so much confusing, like we of course Indian culture, but so many things like
Mataji, Mataji,
yes, Hare Krishna.
with all due respect, just hear. Just hear. Whatever you need to hear will automatically come to you. Honestly. Anytime, I never raise my hand in the class. I just pray to Krishna, this is my question. I'm trying to understand this thing. Please kindly help me by speaking through Gurudev and allow me to hear that answer. If bona fide Guru is pure via medium of Krishna, and Krishna is speaking through the Guru, and Krishna knows what is your question and your problem, now it's just a question of getting the faith, intelligence to hear Krishna manifesting and speaking through the Guru. Because if we cannot hear Krishna inside, and we cannot hear Krishna speaking through the Guru, and you cannot hear Krishna speaking through the scripture, then where exactly do you think you're going to hear Krishna speaking to you? Where do you think you're going to get the answer? Right? Krishna gives intelligence, Guru, Shastra, Atmarupa, Chaitya Guru, Paramatma, Super Soul, Krishna giving intelligence. Then he's speaking through the Guru, bona fide Guru, pure via medium of Krishna, bona fide authorized representative. Then Krishna is speaking to the Guru, and the Guru is quoting Guru Sadhu Shastra. He's quoting authoritative instruction. That's only has to be heard. That's a, what is it, submissive aura reception. So it's just a question of hearing. You understand? Just try to hear. Whatever sincere question you have, Krishna will answer your question, inside and to the Guru. Many times I saw in Bhubaneswar especially, like in ISKCON, the habit is that, you say, does anyone have any question, right? And then sometimes some people may ask a question. But in Bhubaneswar, especially, Gurudev will just tell you, Krishna will tell you through Gurudev what you need to hear. And even people would be like trying to raise their hand. Gurudev said, put your hand down. Put your hand down, just listen. All right, I'm losing him. I'm losing him. We need to jolt him back. Maya's like slipping in there. He was just in Pune. I had to call him back from Pune. His body was there, but his soul was in Pune. Quicker than the speed of sound. Don't listen to it. Don't listen to the stupid mind. My Gurudev used to say, your mind is so stupid, rascal, nonsense mind. He's like beating it while he's talking about it. He's a nonsense, rascal, stupid mind. Why are you listening to those? You'll get them misdirected. That's why the Guru has to speak in such a way to capture your attention. Otherwise, we're easily distracted. So, good teacher, he knows how to keep your attention as much as possible. If you're here and you hear something, you get some benefit. But if you're purposefully, consciously trying to hear and understand it, you get much more better effect. So what's the problem today?
Well, not much. Like, I've just been getting repeated calls from my parents, but I'm not picking it up.
You got a call?
Yeah, I'm getting repeated calls.
But he's not picking them up now.
Yeah, but they're still occupying your mind. So what's the difference between picking up the phone and...
No, because the only difference I realized it's going to be the same story in the conversation. So I decided let me... yeah, so, Hari-Krishna Maharaj. So,
Are you just thinking what you're going to say to them?
I mean, like, they just keep on calling me from today, but I haven't been picking up the
They're
phone.
basically like a ghost. They're just like haunting you. Right? Isn't that what ghosts do? Right? So if you're not, spiritually protected, right? Then the ghost will enter inside of you.
So that's the reason I...
So if you keep your intelligence, mind, and senses engaged, right? Then the ghost of your family and the toe of your grandfather will not enter into your ear and your mind.
That's precisely the reason, like, I haven't been picking up the phone, because I'm thinking, let me focus here on the good association, like...
Yeah, but I had to distract you from your distraction. This is a competition for your soul.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Sometimes you get a call in the priest, to protect them from Satan, What do they call that?
Exorcist.
Yeah. This is an exorcism. To throw away this ghost of the family.
Yes.
Right?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Just say, this Maharaj, it was very interesting. He was calling you all ghosts. And that you're just being haunted by these ghosts of your family members. How do you think the family will like that if you tell them?
I can only imagine.
Maybe you could like Buddha or, It's like getting haunted. And then what happens is when you think about it, you're inviting Maya to come in. So as soon as there's some weakness, immediately Maya will try to enter inside of you. So that's why we have to be very attentive and careful not to put ourselves in a weakened position, because that's when Maya will attack you. And however you're most affected by different types of Maya, that's how she will come to you. A little bit think about it, Maya immediately will come to you. This is Maya, right? Even your mother, your father, your grandfather, your family, brothers, sisters, they're all ghost Maya. Witches. Bob, this is heavy, man. Thank God Mom and Dad already passed, you know? Let's hope they're not ghosts now, you know? But see, the truth is the only thing which will cut through this sentimentality and all of this attachment. You see, and then you'll never look at your family the same again after that.
Yes.
You'll just start to see like, oh, my mother's like a witch, you know? She's like a very evil person. She'll show some side of her, you're like, whoa. Ooh. I didn't see Mom quite looking like that before. She like turned into a witch right in front of my eyes. Like a big demon. She even had like some teeth, you know? Like scary. Yeah. Next time you see your mom, think about that. And you'll get that darshan. Yeah, you'll get that darshan. Because Krishna will show you what I'm saying is true. You'll get a darshan that you never could possibly ever imagine before. You can never look at your mother again the same way. You'll be driving in the car, you'll be like, I don't know who this person is. I have no idea who is this person. I don't even really want to be here, to be honest with you. It'll become like this. If you're fortunate. Are all the gurus preaching like that? They're not preaching like that? No? Maybe I should just tell you some stories. This is the story of how your mother turns into a witch. Since you like stories. How do you say I'm not telling you stories? I love meeting mothers. They can go one way or the other with me, you know? It can go really, really well or really, really bad. There's usually like nothing in the middle, you know? Pitamba,
Yes.
am I alright? Did I offend your mother? He's sitting there going, is my mother actually a demon? Is she a witch? am I gonna get this darshan? Like, you're gonna go up to your mother like, you'll be afraid to look at her next time. Like, what if it's really true? Right?
Because
All that love and affection will fly out the window, you know?
last year she left her body.
Sorry. They are laughing about his mother leaving your planet. What is wrong with these people? We're supposed to be lamenting for the rest of this life. We're supposed to be doing pujas for the rest of this life. We're just like laughing at it, like it's a joke. This is why we're dangerous, don't you understand? Yes.
No, I had a point like I want to ask was that I'm thinking of putting tulsi mala. So should I?
Putting what?
Tulsi.
You can put kunti mala, or you can let them put a chain around your neck.
First option seems to be better.
They'll put 3 layers of chain around your neck.
I don't want chain.
Huh?
I don't want chain.
Are you sure?
Sure.
It won't cut you too badly.
I still don't want it.
They have these ones like with the spike, you know? With these spikes. You know, some holy, you know, wood is probably nicer, you know?
Yes. That's what I wanted to ask. So should I?
So mom's gonna turn into a witch and put 3 layers of spiked chain around your neck and drag you to the hospital to see grandpa's toe. And she's gonna make you just stay there looking at that toe. And she's gonna say, this is your fault. This is your fault. Maybe she can hang the toe on your chain, you know? Just so you don't forget, you know? Then whenever you're getting dragged, you know, the toe will just be like hitting on the side of the face, you know?
No.
Just like a reminder, you know?
On a serious note, like I was thinking of wearing a tulsi mala only.
This is a very serious conversation. I don't know why you people are laughing. What's wrong with you? His mother died and you're laughing. We're supposed to be lamenting. I distracted you from Pune, didn't I?
Yes.
All right. Then it's successful, right? You judge by the results. And you're smiling, you're a little more happier. We have to just pull you out like a few times, you know? Like maybe constantly. We get all the devotees like holding your leg, you know, so you don't fall in the deep dark well, you know? The endless pit. So pessimistic. Be positive, Maharaj. What's happening? He's a lizard. He's got his tongue. He can get rid of that. He can get rid of that thing, you know? He's got some shakti, you know? He's got some special. Don't worry about it, you know? Your friend will take care of it, you know? You notice how the whole class, like there's no bugs around us? You know? Yeah, before the class they were all over the place. I don't see any bugs anymore. It's good to keep like a pet lizard around here, you know? This is so bad. I have totally lost control of this class. Bob, what am I going to do? It's out of control. We got a wild class here tonight. They had a big feast today. They took a nap. These people are getting out of control. Ator, what's your problem? You're like, really, your head is like squeezing. You're like a young guy. How old are you? 20 what? 24. You look like you're 78 years old, man. You look older than Boris. Right about now. He looks younger than you. What are you worried about? What's your problem? What are you trying to figure out?
I'm not peaceful and happy even trying to make service.
Hmm?
He says, I'm not getting peace and happiness from, even though I'm trying to do service.
I'm trying to do service and not peaceful and happy. Who are you trying to serve?
Guru and Krishna.
Guru and Krishna? Are they accepting your service? Can you see by your results that they're accepting your service? Because you should be peaceful and happy, right? We're all laughing, you're not laughing, right? So what kind of service are you doing that you cannot be joyful? What is the quality and the quantity of that seva? That means you have to go deeper, right? I'm serving Guru and Krishna and I'm miserable. Don't listen to him. It's just his own mind, right? It's supposed to be joyfully performed. So what is the quality and quantity of our service that's not allowing it to be joyfully performed? That means we're doing aparad. Nam aparad, Guru aparad, Vaishnava aparad, Seva aparad. It's all aparads. Then how do you get mercy? How do you get purified? How do you get freed from all of this madness, stinking thinking, grumbling and complaining, demanding and expecting? You want to be married, you want a woman, and you want just to do athletics and yoga, and you want to enjoy your material life, right? That's why you're not happy. So, when there's no real happiness anyway with it, but that's another subject matter. But if we're giving up material life, and material attachment, material desires, we're trying to get rid of that. That means we need the spiritual attachment and spiritual happiness. We cannot run on a platform where there's no material happiness and no spiritual happiness. You cannot run on that platform because the soul is meant to be happy. So now it's a question of, if we can't do it materially, we better figure out how to do it spiritually. And if we cannot do that spiritually, then Maya will trick us that only you have to do materialistic life, then you'll be happy. But we already know that's not going to work. We already know that's a vanchana. We already know a little bit of pleasure, so much problem come after that, so much suffering. So it's not really an option. So that means we have to try to do it spiritually. You cannot sit on a platform where there's no material happiness, no spiritual happiness, and you're just there, stuck. Not going to work. We're either going towards Krishna or we're going away from Krishna. There's no middle ground there. We're either turning our face towards Krishna or we're turning our face away from Krishna. So if we're not going for the spiritual side, automatically it means you're going towards the material side. So you're not happy materially or spiritually. Right? So now, what do you do with that information? Do you think you can be materially happy? No? You got convinced of that already? Even at a young age? Okay, that's not really an option then, right? It's not worth it. A little bit of pleasure, unlimited suffering, it's not really an option. So we better figure out how to do this properly spiritually. Srivas is never happy. Never happy. There's always mental, sentimental platform. No material happiness, no spiritual happiness. Then we're demanding respect, nobody giving us respect. We want to control everything, nobody allowing us to control anything. We want to be glorified, nobody glorifying us. So that means now no pratishtha, no stool of the she-hog. So now no happiness, gross materialistic sense gratification. Now no happiness on subtle materialistic sense gratification. Now gross sex life, subtle sex life. Now you cannot enjoy. And that's still not surrendering. So no spiritual happiness. Just basically like stuck in your own mind, in your own head, and not satisfied. So no gross, subtle sense gratification, no spiritual gratification or happiness or joyfulness, then it's not normal. Every soul is meant to be happy. So in disease position, we're in a disease condition, there's no happiness. We're just sick and diseased. Body, mind and soul means a suffering condition. So we need a spiritual treatment program which we're rejecting, which we're not wholeheartedly accepting. Because we're holding out that there must be some way that we can be independent, we can still enjoy in our own way. Me and my wife, right, we'll find out how we can really be happy. Just get away from all of these crazy people. Nobody's pure anyway. Then you start to think, well, the problem is these people, right? If I didn't have to associate with all of these people, I would actually be happy. But think back when you didn't associate with any of these people. Were you happy? Sasha, were you happy before? No? The lizard has a question. He's a smart lizard. He can actually ask questions and he can hear philosophically. Not ordinary lizard. His senses are very, very extraordinary. He can see you. He's remembering his past life. It's very vivid, you know? He's feeling it, he's perceiving it. Sorry.
Is being an athlete and working out, like physically working out, a sinful activity?
I don't want to hurt my computer. Because evidently your working out has given you a hard head. Right? Muscle's supposed to get strong, right? His head's getting like this. Like lizard head. Right? They have some extra hard kind of skin, right? Like a helmet. He's got like a helmet on. Bob, how am I going to get through to this kid? Wait till the GBC hears this class. He's calling people lizards. He's telling people's mothers, you know, are demons and witches, and he's holding exorcisms.
Actually, I'm kind of like winning some competitions, athletic competitions in my college.
Get me out of my misery, Bob. Is it too late? Can I get out of this? Is it too late? Can I get out of this? Do I have to do this? Can we get somebody else to do this? Prabhupada said it's not a big deal. Oh my God. This is why he's having trouble hearing. This is the trouble. Looks like a goat. Doesn't it? This has become unhinged. I've totally lost control of this class, Baladev. It's official. Any other questions? Any last thing? Seriously? Yeah. I thought you were going back to Assam.
Gurudev, I went and came back by 2 a.m.
She went and came back?
Yeah.
That's the way you're supposed to do it. He was supposed to go and come back, right? We had to send basically a SWAT team to get him out of there. We have people coming down ropes at his father's house, you know? We had to get this guy back to Mayapur, you know? They had these like lights on and the helmets, you know? We're looking for one person who's supposed to be in Mayapur. Gurudev sent us over there. Yeah, we had a whole SWAT team. Night vision goggles. We had snipers on the roof. We better not say this because he'll get puffed up, you know? He'll think, wow, Gurudev thinks that much of me, you know?
High value.
I don't want him to misunderstand. They come, they go. Okay. Nobody's that important, right? I mean, Adam's still here, you know what I mean? It's almost like anybody can still be here. Yes.
Actually, it's not a question. It's just a simple realization I had when I went there, like my hometown where I was before leaving. So
Did they all turn into witches?
they are already witches, Gurudev, like from the beginning. Like
From the beginning?
I just wanted.
I said when you go, you're never going to see these people the same way ever again, you know? They all just started walking up the street like, you know, zombies, you know? So happy to see you back back home. We love you. Did we tell you how much we love you? Thanks, but no thanks. And then they get the whole family around the table. We all love you. we're just waiting for you to come back. Then you're like locking your door at night, you know, it's like, I don't know who these people really are, you know. I gotta protect myself, you know. Then you'll be looking for the ropes out your window, like maybe Gurudev, devotees will come and... You're just chanting, you're just waiting for the ropes to come down, you know. Gurudev, please, Krishna, free me from this family that loves me. Free me from their love.
Gurudev, I just wanted to say...
I'm so disrespectful, it's unbelievable. I'm sorry. If you feel bad, I'm sorry. Not really. So, was that neighborhood looking any different this time?
I didn't go back to my hometown. It was just a city where I was working.
Oh.
So my mother came. If it's my hometown, then definitely the neighbors also would have come. Like.
So mom just came.
Yes, Gurudev, just for the work.
And you survived it?
Yeah, before going to...
And she thinks you're on your way to Bangalore, right?
Yes, Gurudev, and she just told
Yeah,
me...
just
finish.
now coming. Right, in India, right? Just now coming. I didn't say I'm not going, I just said I'm just now coming. Now how long that is and which life that is, like who can really say, you know? But I didn't lie to mom. Just now coming.
Yesterday class also I was just listening to there at the airport. So I got his question, like he want to go back and serve his mother. So I just was
Who
feeling,
did?
like this Prabhu, he was telling yesterday.
My bodyguard?
Yes.
I think we're gonna need a bigger gun, you know?
So long time back, I just realized that no matter how much I do to please my mom, like to make her happy, whatever I do, it will never gonna be enough. And I just wanted to get rid of the town, the place. So
I thought you were gonna say I just want to get rid of my mom. You know, don't get carried away here, you know? Let's not say Maharaj is telling everybody to assassinate their families, you know?
Kill your relatives.
Huh?
Kill your relatives.
He's talking about guns and night vision goggles and ropes and... Trying to get free from love. I love you. Let me love you. No, thank you. I'll be fine. No, thank you.
Thanks, no thanks.
So Gurudev, also I realized, like when I reached there, I just realized like the way I was living, it was kind of like I was living inside a gutter, and because of you and like Krishna's mercy, I just got this opportunity. Though I am not qualified or deserving to be here, so just by Guru's like mercy, I'm here. So I'm just grateful for everything.
Causes mercy. I remember when I left my family and my job and everything, And I went to the temple and they said, okay, your job is to wash the pots. Right? And then I was in the kitchen in the basement of the temple scrubbing the pots, and I was so happy. I was like, now I can just be a devotee and serve God and serve Krishna. I felt like complete, like mukti, right? Like complete liberation. I don't care what the service is. Any service, I don't mind. Because now I'm like free man, a free person, isn't it? Remember back when you joined? You felt like that? When did you join? Same guy, you know? Who signed him up, you know? Everybody's volunteering now, you know? And then there's Artur, 20 years old, and not happy. I'm not happy. I'm just letting everybody know I'm not happy. Do something about it. It's all your fault. I'm fully surrendered. He's like, yeah, it's like, who is this guy? Did we meet before? How can you forget this guy? You know? So, what do we do now? Like, how do we get out of this trouble that we've gotten ourselves into here? No shlokas. Maybe if I quote a shloka, everyone will get serious, you know? No, you can't even joke like that. This whole thing is a shloka. Isn't it? Truth is the truth. There has to be something that cuts this illusion, this dream, this bewilderment, this attachment. It's so deep-rooted. So we're cutting, but we're doing it, we're laughing at the same time. Like a dentist, like getting a root canal. But they give you like a really good dentist, right? Even they give you a root canal, you don't feel it, right? Nice medication. So we're laughing, and then later on you'll be like, oh, you know, so somehow I feel like some pain. Like, what just happened to me, you know? I remember many times I was laughing with my Gurudev, and I'm going home, I'm like, oh my God, like, it's like an open heart surgery, you know? But that's how Krishna helping us. So we're making the points, but we're doing it in a, you know, in a happy way. And if it's true and you hear the truth will set you free, like they say. So we need to try to cut this illusion, the strength of these attachments. And this every day, every week, every time we meet, this is ongoing process. If you keep coming back for the surgery, then gradually, it will become weaker, gone. You have to start somewhere, somehow, right? Sure, we're good? Any last thing? I think we're all right. All right, everybody, thank you very much for your kind association and for your laughter. You have to be happy here. That's the one rule we have here. You have to be happy or want to be happy. If you want to remain miserable and you want to just keep it like it is, better just go. Because you can't hear anything, you can't get any benefit anyway. So what's the point? You understand English, right? All right, everybody, thank you. Shri Shri Gauranitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Gaur Govinda Swami, Srila Gurudeva ki, Samaveda Bhakta Brinda ki, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Shri Gurudev ki, Jai Prabhupada, Gurudev.